Mick. So one of the things that I found fascinating from that, normally when you're laughing already.
Yeah.
Normally when you hear from a politician, are you going to be the next blank? Yeah, I'm that. That's me, Robert. He wouldn't say yes because the reality is he doesn't know, and the other 8 don't know, and that's sort of where Republicans are right now.
And the reality is nobody knows. It makes it great for pundits like us because we can sit here and come up with all sorts of ideas. I think the smart money is, listen, I'll put it to you this way, Blake. You take the 9 who have announced for Speaker, and I'll take everybody else in the whole world, and I think I'll win that bet on who the next Speaker of the House is. When you've got 9 people running, it means take the field.
Yeah, Stirewall's taking the field. This is the old Tiger Woods versus the field bet back in the heyday.
Exactly. If you got 9 people running, it means there's no front runner. And here's why I think it's going to be so difficult, okay? I'll give you a specific reason. There's a deal on the table right now to fund the government at $1.7 trillion in discretionary spending. That was the deal that Kevin McCarthy cut as part of the debt ceiling. Half of the conference thinks that's the right number. The other half of the conference hates that number and thinks it should be a lot less. I'm not sure how you solve that. And if you do solve it now, I'm not sure you then survive the motion to vacate that comes in November when you pass a bipartisan bill as the new speaker, and the people who don't like that spending number try to get rid of you. I mean, this is a job with a shelf life right now of about 35 days, and I'm not sure why anybody would want it, but that's okay because I'm not sure anybody could win it.
By the way, Donald Trump, we started the show talking about him in New Hampshire today. Did you hear what he said?
Wait, he says a lot of things.
He said a lot of things.
Okay.
Roll it.
I said there's only one person that can do it all the way. You know who that is? Jesus Christ. If Jesus came down and said, I want to be speaker, he would do it. Other than that, I haven't seen anybody that can guarantee it.
I do feel like Republicans would unify.
He's wrong. How's he wrong? Tell me how he's wrong.
Yeah, no, it was actually Mark Amadei from Nevada had a great line over the weekend. Says they don't have 217 for Jesus, Mary, and Joseph put together. And I think he's better.
That's right. The Joseph faction is very splinter. They want to change in the rules.
But the only reason they don't is because that conservative faction is unwilling to compromise.
Yeah, well,
if they were willing to compromise at some level on the budget, that 1.7 trillion, then you'd have a shot. You could cut some deals. But if you saw McCarthy, he cut all the deals to get to 217, and he didn't last very long.
So, talking to Pete Sessions, so Pete Sessions is kind of a tragic figure and tells an interesting story about the Republican Party. He got shoved to the right in a primary in 2018, lost his district in the general to Colin Allred. And then that was the Pete Sessions we knew that was an establishment, a creature of the establishment, the former head of the National Republican Campaign Committee, and that dude. Then he moved 100 miles up the road to Austin out of the Dallas suburbs, found a different district, and reinvented himself again as a much more MAGA-y, nationalistic kind of cat. And you hear a plea there. It's a sad plea from a guy who says, we could be both, guys. We could do both of these things. But he knows from his personal political experience that the Republican Party cannot do both right now. They cannot live in peace. Waco cannot live in peace with Plano. Yeah.
That's where Julia.
Yeah, no, Chris is absolutely right. I just don't see any situation, maybe Jesus Christ, we'll see, where they agree with each other. There's just...
So what happens in the interim?
I mean, literally, none of us know. If Mulvaney doesn't know, if Stirewall doesn't know, don't look at me.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.